this is the project. So, this is a 1989 Land Rover 90. So we bought this probably a year ago, maybe a bit more, and it's completely ruined. So it needs new track rod ends, it needs a new engine, needs new gearbox, potentially a transfer box, needs new hub bearings, needs new axle bearings, needs new seals all round. Basically, we're going to revamp it. Okay, so underneath it's a 2.5 turbo diesel, LT77 gearbox and a transfer box, and we're going to take them out of this little beauty here. So this is a 1996 Discovery 1, and it's got a 300 TDI engine, and we're going to put that into that. But let's first discuss this. Chassis is a little bit broken, to be fair. She's got a few holes in it. She's got a lot of holes in it. Doors are a bit rotten. They are rotten underneath here, quite badly. Interior's not too bad. It's got a little bit of a rip, but we won't discuss that. And it does come with a free dog, so hiya. Yeah, hi. Door eyes on the back. Yeah, it's not the best. It's a bit bangy. Again, hi dogs. Yeah, rotted, leaking, paint is gone, and this door is gone again. Windows don't close. Hole in the roof. Bonnet doesn't open unless you sort of like try and become a local youth and steal it. Bumper needs repainting. Everything just needs, indicators, they're a bit broken. It's just a bit unloved. History of the truck, a lovely old lady had it, and then it was abused on a farm, and now we've got it. So this is the project, and this is the donor vehicle. So basically, to start with, we need to take everything out of here we need to then put it into the Defender. So first off, we need the engine, the gearbox, the rear axles, and the transfer box. So this engine is a 1996 300 TDI. So this is the same engines as what they would have put in Defenders, apart from it's got a Disco gearbox rather than a Defender gearbox. She looks fairly sound. She hasn't got any leaks, she hasn't got any rattles, she hasn't got any clatters or bangs. She's done about 120,000 miles ish. This truck out here has done 140, 141, and that has got a 19J, so a 2.5 turbo diesel engine. So basically, we need there's some body points down here, underneath here. I don't know if you can see. One of the cross members or outriggers in here. There's some more underneath there. The rear chassis, there's some up in there somewhere. So basically we need to take this body off, take it all off, and then we can get to the engine, because the facilities I have here currently are not really the best for lifting anything off. We can lift it off of that there, but it's not designed to be lifting engines and gearbox out of it. So to be fair, we probably will use it just to lift it, but we haven't really got any other form of training mechanism. So what we need to do is we basically need to start undoing the bolts down here, and then in the engine bay we then need to remove the airbox, the coolant, there's your fuel filter, your main neutral wire. Take all this off, because basically this shell, I think that's your power steering pump, I think. Basically all this needs to come off. So then the body, your radiator, so we need to take all this front off, and then your radiator is then just going to come out. The reason why we are not keeping this truck is because, well, you'll see if you look down here, somewhere, if I remove this plate, you can actually see daylight. So if I just reposition the camera, as you can see there at the end of my finger, that is daylight what's rotted through the bottom of the body, so that's actually in the archwell of the wheel. So that is basically why we're not going to be using this truck apart from donor bits. She's all running and working. She starts, she drives, first time on the button, but she's just a little bit wore out. You can just see down here that, yeah, you can just see down here that the door sills are just a little bit broken, shall we say? And that's actually, yeah, that's a hole. And then round the back, yeah, well, I say that round the back, she's a bit, yeah, she's a bit broken, but you know, she's going to be a good donor truck. You know, we just want the parts for the Defender outside. That's what we want. So like I say, engine, gearbox, transfer box, and rear axle. This has got disc brakes on it, whereas the one outside on the Defender, that has drum brakes on it. So this will be a slight upgrade, slightly bigger engine, nicer gearbox, like driving a car rather than on that one out there where the reverse is to the far left and up. Wheel size is roughly the same, and then to be fair, once we take the body off, that'll probably just be scrapped, and then it will allow us just to get to everything a little bit easier, because splitting everything, unless this has been split before us, there's 3 bolts on the top of the gearbox what connects the engine, so like 11, 12, 1 o'clock, that'd be a pain to get to, and the transfer box, if I want to use that for the one outside, that'll be a bit of a git to get out all in one, so it'll just be easy if we just lift the body off. It won't take too long. As you can see here, this is where the Defender was sitting. Got a bit of an oil leak. So yeah, so what we'll do is if we start taking off the bolts, so the tie down points on the chassis, front and the outriggers, and then we'll probably take the bonnet off, and then we'll probably start looking at taking all the ancillaries out and just having a little look. So let's get started. So we're done. Bumpers off. So we had 2 bolts in here and 2 bolts in here, which if you saw, a lot of the rest of the bolts I've had to cut off. The radiator is quite funny really, because if we actually look in the radiator, I don't know if you can probably see this, but the radiator sort of just pushes down. You can actually poke your fingers inside it. Much the same as this one over here. I did notice that you can actually get it down and push it down like this. So I think we're going to need a new radiator. So in terms of body mounts, bumpers off. There was a body mount about here, so that will come off as well, and obviously these 2 in here. There was 2 body mounts roughly about here-ish. You might be able to see, yeah, this little bolt hole down in here. There was one on the other side. I don't know if you can see, but there's daylight roughly coming through down there. There was also a body mount roughly there, which you saw, sort of roughly in the middle of the truck here. There was 2 body mounts, and then 2 more in there, and then 2 at the back, which you've obviously seen. Brake lines, I've disconnected all the brake lines, so there was a single brake line to the back, which joined the back to the front, but the front ones, there was one on each side of each wheel, which, to be fair, I ended up just cutting them through because the fittings are so corroded when I tried to undo them. They would go. Bonnet obviously we took off. So next underneath, well, underneath here and in here, so in here we've got to, basically what we've got to do is we've got to take all of this out. So the gear stick, this console, so this then lifts out, so there's 2 screws in here which comes off. This and lifts off, so we can then take the plate out, because obviously the gear linkage selectors stick up through there, so that needs to not be tied down anymore. Underneath the bonnet, battery comes out. We need to take the airbox off. We need to take the washer fluid out. We need to, there's some looms around here which we need to take off. Radiator mounts. This one's missing. This one needs to come off. What else do we need to do? Fuel filter needs to come down. This and these down here, the matrices there will need to come off. You can, yeah, it is just, we've just got a bit more what we need to take off really. So what we'll do now is we'll probably just start on the bonnet here. So we'll just start taking all the airbox out and everything in here, and then we'll then move inside. So yeah, let's get on with it. So we're done. So we've disconnected everything from this side of the engine across. Coolant bottle and fuse, well, I say fuse, wiring in the fuse box is gone. This little, I don't actually know what that is, but that's been disconnected. Matrix heater pipes, that's been disconnected. The main, the main wiring loom, which some of these plugs, I don't actually know what they do. That was disconnected into this hole here, so down there. That's been disconnected. Oh, fuel filter, that got took over here. Radiator pipes, they're all off. Oh, steering linkage, there's a steering linkage down in there. I undone two 30mm bolts and sprayed a load of penetrating oil in there. So hopefully that'll loosen that off. There was some weird cable that they put on, which, yeah, I chopped that off. And then round this side, this little wire loom here, I've actually put that back over the engine, so that can stay there so it doesn't get caught. That wrapped around here, down to this corner, and then it went into this multi-plug. That multi-plug there. So we've disconnected that. Everything's off there. Body mounts are off. Round in the actual inside, I basically ripped everything out. So the main console's now out. And so there was two screws up in the corner here. And then there was two screws basically down here. That have been disconnected. I've disconnected the handbrake, like so. Sorry, it's not very light in here. And then, yeah, just cut the rubber out and just made sure everything's disconnected there. I had to I'm sure there was a plug under there I disconnected, which I can't actually remember. And I know it's a bit of a shame, but I've literally just ripped the whole dash out because this white plug in there, I think it was, or yellow one, I can't remember. One of the plugs in there, it was mounted onto this metal bracket, and then it fed all the way down there, the wiring, which I had to pull out. So yeah, everything's disconnected in there. In terms of outside, we've done all the body mounts from back to front. There's 10 of them, done them, disconnected everything. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be done. So we can now lift the body off. Obviously, it's a bit dark outside at the minute, so we can't do that. So that'll be a morning job. So I've been doing this through the course of the week. So that'll be Saturday job. And then when we obviously lift it out, we can then roll the chassis back in. So I have got a workspace here, which I've been moving about, moving the truck in and out and different angles just to try and get a bit of light into the bonnet because I haven't got anything up there. So we'll have it in, and then we should be able to put a crane hoist up there, just to sort of winch the engine in and out. So hopefully we'll get that done. So guys, if you have liked this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We are going to try and build a channel, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.